lovely chatting with you. We are meeting after what, 4 years since Bahubali Part 2?
Yes, 4 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while. But firstly, many, many congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
On your wedding. So was it a bane or a boon during the lockdown getting married?
Well, I think it's a boon, fully a boon, right? It was just my family, it was her family, it was a close thing. It happened in the studio, in the office itself. So yeah, it was. I think it was fully a boon.
And now you have another initiative coming up, South Bay.
Yes.
You're basically going to put all of us out of our jobs now because all of you are turning hosts and anchors and what are we going to do? Maybe you can host us.
No. It's really like also this, like the fact that it's very difficult for us to work with independent artists, independent creators and others, right? Now, this platform gives us a format to do that, right? Like, say, example, in this episode of mine, I've worked with like the biggest stars in all of Bombay to a young YouTuber. Now, I'm saying both of us are on the same platform, on the same show. Now, I think this, and it's in a space which is not bound by censor or length or duration or any of those things, right? And also the biggest thing was language. See, when you got to mount a project in any form, whether it's a show, whether it's anywhere that's in our ecosystem, you got to be, okay, now this is a Telugu show, that's a Hindi show, this is an English show, that's what it becomes.
Yeah.
Here I said it's the only place I can go multi-format, multilingual, and bring everybody who wants to do cultural content in that format. So I was, but that's really how the initiative began.
But what do you think are the challenges for content creators? Because there has been just a spurt of content, everywhere this lockdown, everyone's creating something or the other.
Yes.
So what do you think is actually the challenge for somebody who's been in the business of creating content?
So there are two things that we were addressing with South Bay as an idea, right? One is, for a content creator, you consistently need platforms. And now for somebody who wants to go slightly more premium in the internet space, whether you're on IGTV or on YouTube or any of those free or subscribe platforms that you want to make, if you have to go up one notch, you got to go to either Netflix, Amazon, or any of the big giants, right? And that's not an easy access to everyone. And even the OTTs itself have their direction of how they decide they want to grow, so they can't pick up so much content either. So I said, let me be that curation platform. And like if you watch Netflix now, you can understand the entire culture of how Hollywood was built or how LA is, including shows like selling real estate in Los Angeles, right? You have everything that can be covered. But in India, there's so much of that culture, which, whether it's through music, through gaming, through everything, through art, everything that's alternative, which doesn't have a platform to kind of showcase itself. So, which is what South Bay was. I said everything mainstream happened in Bombay. I said everything subculture happens in South Bay, and that's really how South Bay came to life. So here we're not bound. I mean, right now, see, I've worked with Bhuvan Bam on a show. I've worked with Raja Kumari on a show. I've worked also with Nani and Navdeep on a show. So it's like everyone from all languages, we kind of come together and we're able to make content on this.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And also, haven't you noticed the demarcation that there was between stars and, new people between the South, North, East and West has somewhere got blurred. Everyone is...
I think it's beautiful, yeah. I think that's beautiful. I think really we're now coming of time of being one content country in that matter of fact. See, we always... this is actually... I used to keep talking when I was during Bahubali, when probably that was the first film that brought us together as a Indian audience, right? This is an Indian film and this is all of India watched it together. And that really shows the size of India. And see, we always look up to a Hollywood or someone who's there. Now that's an ecosystem where everybody is together. Whichever part of the world they're making films for, they're all making it together, right? Yeah. Here, because we're language broken, the industries have emerged in different places. But I think now is the time to say, let's connect all of those and become the largest entertainment or content industry in the world. And I don't think we're very far from that.
I agree with you because I've been consuming a lot of Southern content and it's available on Netflix and Amazon. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got to see it in the North.
Exactly. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing what this new content world is now up to.
What do you think are the challenges actors and film producers are going to face post-COVID?
See, one is like any industry, this is an industry that's going to take a big beating. See, like in the sense of whether it's a hospitality, whether it's event, whether it's cinema, all of us fall in a similar category of large number of people coming to a certain place. Now, understanding wherever the COVID restrictions go, obviously that's going to be a very tough time till that piece is lifted off, because it's very hard for theaters to sustain on smaller percentages. See, as it is, theaters are not a extremely profitable business, first of all, and we barely break even on good seasons. They do.
And so says the person who belongs to a family of producers and creators.
Yeah. So I'm saying theater business is not the most elusive, which is why you see it consistently diminishing in India. Right? So unless that comes back, so that's going to be a little tight till COVID restrictions are out. But once they're out, we'll see a different kind of problem where there'll be so much cinema that's available. The programming will start getting extremely tight. So we're now, but I mean, that's good at a later time, right? We'll see a whole lot of content, but now I think it's time where, here you go, this is the OTT, there's a different story told for the web, for a feature film. See, so cinema will be about big spectacle, big movies where you want to come to a big theater and enjoy a more experiential piece than anything else. And I think OTT gives an advantage of just telling longer stories, longer characters, dwelling in drama much more, right? And I think like that, I think eventually filmmakers will start making that bifurcation. But till that happens, I think it's going to be pretty hard. It's going to be it's a new time here. It's really. One is the good thing is it's a great time because anybody who wants to make content, who wants to tell stories, it's now the best time. But I think everyone has to make that shift, understand what they're going into.
And also, this has been a time there have been murmurs. I'm sure you are also aware. You know, I mean, you come from a family of filmmakers, but I was listening to your interviews, probably done everything from playing spot boy to editing to lifting cameras, multitasking. And it reminded me of something Shammi Kapoor said, that Prithvi Raj Kapoor would never give them a debut. He said, first be an apprentice, learn the process, and then we'll decide. But, you know, nowadays there's been a lot of murmur in the film industry about insiders, outsiders. Right. Do you actually feel it is tough for an insider, but now outsider now, but do you feel that would change now?
See, one is, I'm probably insider, outsider at all times. See, in Hyderabad, I become a super insider. In Bombay, I become a full outsider. So I kind of live both worlds every time I want to. I remember the early days in Bombay when I used to be there. So I used to be treated like someone, obviously like a new person, right? It didn't matter. But then here you're straight in the mainstream world.
True.
But I think, I'll tell you why, right? I'm saying very few people know the history of where this all comes from. 15 years ago is when I actually started actively working in the movies. At that time, films were not the best place to be. People didn't want them to act in movies. People didn't want to get a job in the movies. Like most of the team that I used to be people saying, here, this is my son. He's failed in 12th grade. Why don't you get him a job in the studio? This is my daughter. She's not doing anything. I think she'll be good. Why don't you look? So I'm saying it was a place where you didn't want to go, right? And 10 years later, it's changed all the way. So now for us at that point was a struggle to put means together, because we were taking the recognition of an industry, but we didn't have enough support systems, whether it's educated people, whether it's technology, whether it's IT. We had nothing of that coming to us. And we were just building it as independent family members, figuring out what to do. Hey, get the son, get the uncle, get this fellow, everybody work in one place, and you figure it out like a normal family business. And today, though, it's a different shift, right? It's become a huge industry. It's a global power. It is, and I think there's a two-way look at this. I think as insiders, there's a job for us to consistently create channels for newer people to come in. Right? Whether it is through our agencies, through our feature films, or through content that we can curate and make. So I think what we've done in the last 3 years is we've been taking very active steps. If you in the 120 films that were made in the company, I only acted in one. And that
And
was,
your father didn't even want to give your film a theatrical release.
yeah, he was one of those guys. No. And that was my 10th film or something. So it was a while after I was an actor, when it was after Bahubali, then when we made a film. So that's how our functionality works. And most of the heroes were, or people who came onto this place were always newcomers. So we consistently last 3 years made a piece where we just work with newcomers. So we have about 7 or 8 films every year that release, either partnered or own, which have new talent coming up.
Wow.
So today in the Telugu industry, whether it's Nani, whether it's Vishwak, you see so many of them. All of them have had roots in this company, and they've moved out, right? So I think that's our responsibility in terms of understanding. And I think it's see what happens in India in general, right? When someone at a larger scale is trying to do something, there's many people, many naysayers who pull him down very fast.
Absolutely.
And I think on the other end, I think the naysayers should understand where this system is coming from, right?
True.
See, if today there is an industry that survived, it's because some people gave their all to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, the first 60, 70 years ago, right? It was those 10 or 15 people in different parts of the country said, we are going to do this for the rest of our lives. And this is it.
True.
Right? And that is what today is. And I'm saying you can't forget that.
True.
See,
True.
And so that's where it comes from. So it's no grudge or no angst or anything, but I think you just have to keep addressing as things keep changing.
And things are actually. And also another question, I remember, I've been following your career since Dam Maro Dam, but I remember Baby, and I was telling Akshay, I said, Rana. He says, you only noticed him in the film. I said, because he filled up the screen. And then Bahubali also, you had bulked up. And now you suddenly like, they're saying, shredded yourself. For Hathi Mere Saathi, how do you do that?
So the first time I did a look test for Hathi Mere Saathi, this is right after Bahubali. So it's 3 years ago, right? So this is a full day I spent with Mr. Prabhu Solomon, the director. He shaved my hair, he took off my beard, he did this, he did that, we changed eyes, we changed colors, the whole thing. And after a photo shoot of like 4 hours, he calls me the next day morning when he left to Chennai, and he said, sir, I don't think this is looking right.
God, after all that.
Yeah. And I said, so what do you want me to do? He said, I think I just want you to start losing weight and just growing a beard. Let's see how it goes. So we had like, I think 4 months to shoot, like to get there. And he said, okay, let's start dropping weight and keep growing a beard, figure out what happens.
Whoa.
And in between that, I said, here you go. And what was amazing was you realize that that's the reason you became an actor. You wanted to be different people each time. And I think it's a blessing that I just keep getting it.
Awesome. And now you're all set to release a film on Makar Sankranti next year in the theaters.
Yes, in the theaters.
Digital is not an option here, is it?
No, digital not an option. Yeah, the idea of making this film was to bring the forest closer to home, right? And it's a film that I shot. It's a large part of it has 15 elephants that are characters in the film, and we shot in 6 different jungles in Krabi, in Thailand, in Satara, right in the middle, in Kerala. And when you are in the theater, right? See, very few people can actually go to a jungle and experience nature. And this film will give you all of that experience. So I said, I'd love for Eros that they've held on and wanted to go straight to theaters.
Roman Polanski had said a movie is one which makes people forget that they're actually sitting in a theater.
That's really what it is. 100%, 100%. And that's really what we strive to do in each cinema, where we made a world, we're just trying to pull you into that world, and that's what we try to do.
And you were someone who loves comics, the manga comics, wants to make a superhero film. So when do we see that happening? Since everything is getting very inclusive, no longer you have superheroes as being those white guys.
Yeah.
You can have Bahubali was our own superhero, homegrown superhero.
So
now do we see that happening also?
So look at this. This is how I grew up. So this is a Star Wars lightsaber. I bought it in 10th grade in America. And that's my replacement answer to it. I'm saying that's the mace from Bahubali. It's like, there you go. That's how we started. And yeah, I have 2 films that I'm actually working on. One with a director called Milind Rao, and the other with Manoj Nair. Both that are superhero-based, comic books-based IPs. So yeah, that's next in the line. I'm just waiting for the world to open up, and then we're on.
Awesome. Who actually, if the superhero universe, the Marvel DC universe, who would you be? Thanos, Darth Vader, Thor, Iron Man? Who would you be?
See, I'm a more Amarchit Rakata Hanuman type of guy. You'll be Hanuman, Bhima, you will be Duryodhan. That's more the vibe I like to take. See, I think India just comes with such a big lore of heroes. Ashwadhama, Parashurama, all of them are just like great heroes that you just want to tell those stories. I think I come from that lore more than the others.
So who's on your wish list across the industries? Now, since there is no Bollywood, there's no Telugu, Tamil, everyone, they're all actors. Now, everyone's acting in each other's cinema.
Yeah.
Who would be your 5 chosen people to make a film with?
Who would be my 5 chosen people?
Yeah, maybe a superhero film only.
Yeah, okay, well, let's go. Me and Prabhas will obviously be in Straight Up. That's the 2 biggest around. I think Tiger Shroff would make a very interesting hero. I think you need women in the mix, either Katrina Kaif or Nayanthara. Both would be very interesting as people. I think Varun Dhawan will make a humorous, really awesome superhero too. So I think that'll be a set.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, let's make one.
I know, honestly, and I would love to be on South Bay as well, since it's open for everyone.
Oh, I'm happy to. We'd love to.
Done deal. Thank you so much. Are you a sports freak?
I used to watch heavyweight boxing a lot.
Ali. There'll never be another Muhammad Ali. Yeah? He also gives a lot of wisdom.
That's it. That's why these are great people. You stand for what it is, and they're out there.
So after Hathi Mere Sathi, what can we expect? Anything exciting?
So I have another film which is close to completion, which is a film called Virata Parvam, which is a Telugu film, and it's set in the 90s. It's set in the Naxal era that happened between Bengal and Andhra and all of them in the 90s. So it's me and Sai Pallavi that are in that film. So that'll, once this is done, that's the next one that's on floors.
All the very best. Lovely speaking to you, Rana, as always. Let's not wait for another 4 years till we meet again.
No, we're going to see you.
Are you happy with...
Now I'm on the internet.
I know. And accessible.
Yes.
You know, it's made everyone very accessible now.
That's what it is, yeah. And I thought this is awesome. Huh?
Thank you so much. All the very best. Thank you. Bye.